It was supposed to be just another sleepover. Junk food, video games, staying up all night. But something was watching us from that hallway, and we never should have ignored it. This happened to me when I was 14. It was a Friday night in early winter, and I was sleeping over at my school friend Lucas's house. Total classic setup: pizza, soda, video games, and a bunch of us piled onto air mattresses and sleeping bags in the living room. It was me, Lucas, Caio, and Felipe. We'd all been in the same class since 6th grade, so we were super tight, the kind of friends who already knew each other's fears and weird habits. Lucas's house was kind of old, one of those older suburban homes with carpet floors and a long, narrow hallway that led to the bedrooms and the bathroom. His mom was home, but she stayed in her room most of the night, reading or watching TV. She trusted us not to burn the house down. Everything seemed normal at first. We were hyped, laughing, talking trash while playing FIFA, making dumb jokes, and planning to stay up until sunrise. It should have been just another night. But it wasn't. Lucas's house had always felt off to me, even before that night. The kind of place that feels heavy, like the walls have memories. The dark wooden floors creaked in specific spots, like the house itself chose when to make noise. The curtains were thick, dusty, and barely let any light in, and there was this faint smell, like a mix of old wood and subtle mold. But the thing that really bothered me was the hallway. It started right after the kitchen and stretched down to the bedrooms and bathroom. Even during the day, it looked dim and eerie. At night, it was worse. There was only a single light bulb in the ceiling, one of those dim yellow ones that flickered occasionally, so parts of the hallway were always in shadow. From the living room couch where we were playing, we had a clear line of sight down that hallway. And no matter how many times you walked past it, it always felt like something was standing at the end, just watching silently. But that night, we ignored it. It's just a hallway, right? Around 10 p.m., after we'd had enough of the game, Felipe had the brilliant idea to put on a horror movie. Nothing too heavy, just one of those shaky camera paranormal activity type flicks with creepy noises in the dark. Lucas's mom even poked her head in and said, "Don't go getting scared now," like she already knew someone would be pretending to. Be brave until 3 a.m. We laughed, of course, but when we turned the lights off, everyone got quiet. Only the soft blue glow of the TV lit up the room. Lucas grabbed a blanket and flopped onto the air mattress. I remember curling up on the corner of the couch, holding a cold can of soda. During the movie, we had the usual reactions: over-the-top jump scares, nervous laughter, and that one friend who says, "Man, that's so fake," to cover up the fact he's shaking inside. After the movie, still buzzing, Caio pulled a board game from the closet, some old version of Monopoly that smelled like it hadn't seen daylight in years. We set it up under a dim lamp and started playing to shake off the movie jitters. That's when it started to feel wrong. Not a sound, a feeling, like the house, which had just seemed old and creaky before, was now alert. We were halfway through the game when, right as Felipe was rolling the dice, we heard a loud thump from upstairs. I know it sounds like every horror story ever, but it was that sound. One solid thump in the middle of the silence. Not furniture, not pipes. It sounded like a footstep. We all froze. Lucas laughed nervously and said, "Probably my mum." But here's the thing. His mum was sleeping in the downstairs bedroom right next to the living room, and according to him, no one else was home. His sister had gone away to college earlier that week, and his dad didn't live with them anymore. Caio asked, "Dude, is your mum still awake?" Lucas nodded, but not as confidently. We tried to brush it off, get back to the game, but deep down we all knew that sound didn't belong. A few minutes later, Caio got up to use the bathroom, the one at the end of the dark hallway. He came back in seconds, pale, breathless. Guys, he said, there was someone at the end of the hallway, just standing there. I swear, it wasn't a shadow. It wasn't in my head. We all looked at each other. Nobody laughed. Lucas tried to play it cool. Come on, Kaio. Probably a trick of the light or something. But Kaio shook his head. No, it wasn't moving. It was just there, watching. Felipe chuckled, trying to cut the tension. Maybe it was the ghost of the old carpet. But we all felt it, that creeping chill up the spine. No one dared look down the hallway. We tried to laugh it off, told dumb, scary stories to lighten the mood, but the room had changed. The energy felt off. Then the power went out. Everything went dark. The only light was the blue flicker of the TV, which stayed on for some reason. We froze. The house was dead silent. We could hear each other breathing. Lucas's mom shouted from upstairs, but her voice was distant, muffled. Then we heard it again. Footsteps, and the doorknob to the room we were in started turning. We all froze. No one spoke. The air felt heavy, thick, like the house was holding its breath too. The door never opened, but that doorknob kept turning, slow and deliberate, like something was testing it. And just when we thought it was over, we saw it, a tall, unmoving shadow, standing just outside the glass door that led to the back patio. It didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there. We grabbed our phones, trying to call someone, anyone, but no one had signal. It was like the house was cut off from the world. Lucas's mom tried to calm us down, but honestly, none of us believed she could do anything if whatever was out there decided to come in. Felipe suggested we barricade the door and wait until sunrise. That's exactly what we did. We stacked chairs, pillows, anything we could. Then came the dragging sound, slow, heavy, like something being pulled across the floor just outside the door. We sat in silence, frozen, listening, and then breathing. Heavy, slow, unnatural breathing just inches away, on the other side. We stayed like that until the sky began to lighten. When Lucas finally peeked out the window, he noticed the front door, wide open. No one knew how it had been unlocked. We were sure we'd locked it when we arrived. When our parents picked us up, they didn't really believe what happened. Lucas's mom even said, "Old houses make weird noises. You boys just have wild imaginations." But we knew better. Kaio, the one who saw the figure first, changed after that. He stopped laughing so much, started looking over his shoulder in class, never talked about that night again. That sleepover became the kind of story that sticks with you, not just in your bones. A reminder that sometimes when something doesn't feel right, it really isn't. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain, something that still haunts you? Share your story in the comments. And if you want more real horror stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because next time it might be your turn.